Let's get the latest business news now with Charles Pellegrin. Charles, we're starting here in France, where pharmaceutical giant Sanofi is on the verge of making a deal that's getting politicians very worried.
Sanofi entered into talks last week to sell off its consumer health business, Opella. This would mean the company would give a 50% controlling stake of Opella to U.S. private equity firm Clayton, Dubilier & Rice, or CD&R, for a reported total of around 15 billion euros. Opella is the maker of popular over-the-counter drug brands in France, notably its bestseller Doliprane, which is used to treat fevers or relieve headaches. Every year, more than 400,000 boxes are sold in pharmacies all over the country. Opella has 11,000 employees in the country and produces Doliprane locally on 2 sites, one in northern France in Compiègne, as you can see there, and the other in Normandy in Lisieux. Lisieux is where Antoine, Armand, and Marc Ferracci, the ministers of the economy and industry respectively, will be heading this Monday morning for a visit and to hold talks with unions.
And so why is this getting people so concerned?
Well, the news of the sale has led to strong reactions from politicians of all stripes, many of which have called on the government to block the deal in the name of France's health sovereignty. Having better control over its supply chain in the pharmaceutical sector had been a promise made by President Emmanuel Macron when the country was faced with drug shortages during the COVID pandemic. He'd visited Sanofi's vaccine production sites during that time. And that issue of maintaining control over the supply of medication is still a political hot topic today. Economy Minister Antoine Armand vowed to ensure that the deal keeps jobs locally, not excluding potentially blocking the sale if those guarantees aren't met, saying that no other option was off the table.
So what's in it for Sanofi then, Charles?
Well, this is all a part of a strategy set in motion back in October 2023, when the company said it was reviewing potential scenarios to separate its consumer healthcare business in order to shore up new drug development spending in its core business. This is something we've seen among other big pharma groups globally. Johnson & Johnson spun off its consumer health business Kenvue in May of last year, while Pfizer and GlaxoSmithKline did the same back in 2022. And this industry-wide trend is what is giving the French government a headache today.
And moving on, but still here in France, the Paris Motor Show is kicking off this Monday.
All week, the event will be drawing scores of visitors to see the latest car models and the unveiling of new technologies. In recent years, Chinese cars have been making a dent in the European electric vehicle market, with low costs and high tech drawing consumers. Matthew-Marie Caruchet has this.
Earlier this month, the European Union voted to raise tariffs on electric vehicles imported from China, increasing them from 10 to as much as 45% after an EU investigation found that the Chinese government was unfairly subsidizing its manufacturers. Chinese-made cars have been taking a larger share of the European market. While they captured about 3% of the market in 2023, that reflected a rise of 79% in just 1 year. On average, Chinese vehicles are about 20 to 40% cheaper than European models, and they sport the latest tech.
It's the best equipped version with a unique color. I bought it for 29,000 euros, government rebates included. With the competitors, it would have been between 35 and 40,000 euros.
The low prices are partly explained by overproduction. The slowdown in the Chinese economy has led Chinese consumers to buy less, placing the industry in production overcapacity. With the United States imposing 100% tariffs on Chinese cars, manufacturers are looking to offload their surplus in Europe at low prices. In addition, Chinese manufacturers control almost the entire production chain, limiting costs.
We control 95% of our supply chain. The only parts that BYD does not make are the tires, the brakes, the windows, and the sound system. That allows us to adapt our prices to market forces.
Chinese companies have also been testing the limits of technology. This SUV that BYD presented a few weeks ago is capable of floating and navigating in shallow waters.
Moving on now, Charles, tell us how the markets are faring.
Well, in Europe at the open, we're seeing mixed or flat trading on the major bourses. The auto sector actually trading slightly higher as companies are using the Paris Motor Show to make new market-moving announcements. We'll have more on that throughout the day. As you can see, FTSE in London down 0.1%, while the Paris CAC 40 up 0.1%.
All right, Charles, thank you very much for that business update. Thank you to you for watching. We'll be right back after this short break.